afternoon and welcome to Delaware Valley University's Founders Ceremony, the closing event of our Day of Scholarship. I'm Ben Rusolowski and I have the pleasure and privilege of serving Del Val as its Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the Faculty. This afternoon we will recognize and honor our heritage as well as the outstanding accomplishments of students, faculty, and staff. Please stand while we sing the national anthem led by Katie Houston, Olivia Sickles, and Caitlin Warren, and accompanied by Don Tenenblatt. Thank you, Katie, Olivia, Caitlin, and Dawn. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the Chair of Delaware Valley University's Board of Trustees, Mr. Majid Al-Saya.
Thank you, Dr. Rusolowski. Good afternoon. I'm very pleased to see you all here today. This is our time to reflect upon and celebrate the accomplishments of outstanding students, outstanding faculty, and outstanding staff. I'm proud to say on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the entire university family that the dreams, aspirations, and visions of our founders, Dr. Joseph Kraskoff and Dr. James Work, are embodied in these outstanding honorees, and the many others who have labored hard and contributed much to their success and to the success of the university. It's with pride, high hopes, and confidence that we look forward to the future achievements of these alumni as they continue to fulfill the noble mission of Delaware Valley University. Our founder, Rabbi Kraskoff, had a credo with 18 beliefs. One of those beliefs is very appropriate for today. He said, "I believe all people should acquire knowledge and foster it, love progress, and further it. Thank you for doing your part in living up to that ideal." It's my pleasure now to introduce our president, Dr. Maria Galan.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Founders Day, our annual celebration of the outstanding achievements of Delaware Valley University's students, faculty, and staff. From our founding as the National Farm School in 1896 to our present incarnation as Delaware Valley University, nearly a century and a quarter later, our beloved institution has seen many changes. One constant, however, has been Joseph Kraskoff's founding principle of science with practice. That intrinsic trait, experiential learning, is so important to us that we've placed it at the center of both our new vision and our new strategic plan. Delaware Valley University will be the leader in experiential education, empowering all learners to transform the world. Our determination to extend a vision that dates literally from our earliest days is a tribute not only to Rabbi Krauskopf, but to everyone at Del Val who has personified this principle over the years, including and especially those who are with us today. And so I thank our award recipients for your contributions to our great university, and I congratulate you for your achievements. You inspire and serve us as role models for others, and your efforts make a difference. We are a stronger, better institution for your presence with us. It is now my pleasure to turn the program over to Dr. Russellowski to begin the recognition ceremony.
Thank you, President Gallo. We now recognize members of Delaware Valley University's various honor societies. Alpha Lambda Delta is the Freshman Honor Society. It acknowledges first-year students who earned a cumulative grade point average of 3.5 or higher during their first semester of study. Would the senior members of Alpha Lambda Delta please stand and be recognized? Delta Tau Alpha is the National Agriculture Honor Society. The organization promotes and recognizes scholarship and leadership accomplishments of agricultural students while emphasizing character development, enhancing undergraduate preparation for professional positions, and joining with other agricultural student organizations in the promotion of agriculture. Would the senior members of Delta Tau Alpha please stand and be recognized? The mission of Kappa Delta Pi is to promote excellence in and recognize outstanding contributions to education. Kappa Delta Pi endeavors to maintain a high degree of professional fellowship among its members, to advance professional growth, and to honor achievement in educational work. To these ends, it shall invite to membership persons who exhibit commendable professional qualities, worthy educational ideals, and sound scholarship. Would the senior members of Kappa Delta Pi please stand and be recognized? Sigma Beta Delta, the International Honor Society for Business, Management, and Administration, encourages and recognizes scholarship and achievement among students of business, management, and administration. It further promotes personal and professional improvement and a life distinguished by honorable service to humankind. Would the senior members of Sigma Beta Delta please stand and be recognized? The Order of Omega is a leadership honor society for members of Greek organizations which recognizes juniors and seniors who have demonstrated excellence in scholarship, leadership, and involvement on and off campus. Members represent the top 3% of students on campus. Would the senior members of the Order of Omega please stand and be recognized? It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. April Very, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, to the podium to present the Frank Wolfgang Scholar Athlete Awards.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to have this opportunity to present the Frank Wolfgang Scholar Athlete Awards. These awards are made by selection of the athletic department to a senior man and a senior woman student athlete who have really epitomized the philosophy of NCAA Division III athletics, the pillars of which are discover, develop, and dedicate. Our student athletes discover and develop their potential through a competitive athletic environment, but also through the classroom, as they are students first. They also dedicate themselves to honing their sport and their craft, and through that, learning skills for life such as leadership, resilience, facing down adversity, communication, all the things that we know society will need of them later. A minimum 3.0 grade point average is required for consideration, and we have two excellent individuals to present to you today. The male scholar athlete is Steven Adams from the football program. Steven started his collegiate athletic career at Arcadia University, having been recruited as a quarterback, and probably had no idea at the time that he would A, become an Aggie, B, become a punter, and C, become one of the best punters in the country. After an injury his first year at Arcadia, he began looking for a new opportunity and found one with Del Val. And while he hadn't done much kicking in high school, preferring to be the quarterback, he really showed a spirit of humility and willingness to learn when his coaches really wanted to cultivate him as a kicker. He accepted that role, worked hard on his craft, and as hard work often does, it won out and bore out. His junior year was his breakout year when he averaged 40 yards a kick, and it was placed 19th in the country for kickers. That was also a season to remember for the Aggies as they went undefeated, won the MAC championship, and hosted the NCAA quarterfinals for the first time. Through all that, Steven was recognized by his peers as a leader and elected captain for his senior year. He is a secondary education major specializing in social studies. He's been named to the conference academic honor roll every year, the academic all-MAC team the past 2 years, and he's been recognized regionally for his academic and athletic accomplishments by the Philadelphia Inquirer and the College Sports Information Directors of America. Steven actually cannot be with us today because he's in Texas training with some of the top collegiate punters in the country from all divisions under the renowned kicking coach Luke Gaddis. He's putting his work ethic to work to pursue an opportunity to land with a professional squad. Wherever he lands, we know that his passion and positive attitude will shine and lead him to success. So please join me in congratulating Steven Adams as our Male Student Athlete Award. The recipient of the Women's Scholar Athlete Award is Jamie Stefani from our softball program. Jamie really embodies these principles of discover, develop, and dedicate. She discovered Del Val for her major, small animal science. She developed her mind in the classroom and honed her game on the field to become one of the best performers in Division III softball during her 4 years. Her dedication has always shined for herself and for her team. She persevered through 3 head coaching changes in 4 years, leading her team through all kinds of transitions. Jamie is one of the most decorated softball players in Del Val history as a pitcher and at bat. She's been named to the all-conference team all 3 years, and she's a candidate for league MVP this season. Last year, she finished with the 3rd best batting average and 4th best on-base percentage in the country, and is the first All-American in Del Val's softball program history. This season, she ranks 4th in all of Division III, with an on-base percentage at just about 60%, and a 500 batting average is 11th best in the country. Suffice to say, the softball record books have been rewritten with Jamie's name all over it. She's a member of Delta Tau Alpha Honor Society, was elected Homecoming Queen in 2018, is a peer mentor, and has made the Dean's List all 4 years. Upon graduation, Jamie will be continuing her education in the MBA program while serving as a coaching assistant with the softball program. I'm not crying. We couldn't be more excited to have her stick around. So at this time, I'd like to invite Jamie to come up and be recognized as the outstanding student. At this time, I'd like to ask Mackenzie Bishop, President of Student Government, to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Berry. So Hello, as Dr. Very said, my name is Mackenzie Bishop, and I'm the current president of Delaware Valley University's Student Government Board. Being a part of SGB has been one of my favorite things that I've been able to experience in the past 4 years. And today I have the honor of presenting 3 Founders Day Service Awards on behalf of SGB. These awards are given annually to members of the community who have made outstanding contributions to SGB and the student body. One will be given to a member of administration, one to a faculty member, and one to a staff member. Our first recipient is a member of the administration who every student on this campus can recognize as a resource and a friend. I've had the privilege of working with this person directly the past 2 years. Dr. Very is someone who always has a smile on her face and a willingness to help. As Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of the Students, she truly tries to help students with their leadership development and has evolved Student Affairs into a contemporary 21st century department that directly supports the academic mission of the university. When coming to Del Val, athletics and public safety were put under Student Affairs, and she took over the oversight of these departments. She helped rewrite the sexual misconduct policy and recently helped Dr. Ben with the development of the peer mentor program for freshmen. Dr. Very has worked directly with SGB as the advisor and has held this position for the 6 years she has been at Del Val. It is because of these generous acts that the Student Government Board is proud to honor Dr. Very with the SGB Administrative Founders Day Award. Our second recipient today is a member of the faculty who is dedicated to his field and has demonstrated that he is a dedicated professor as well. Dr. George teaches ecology and ornithology at Del Val. He shows dedication to the students by being the advisor for the Ornithology Club. Dr. George inspires passion within his students and is always willing to sit down personally with students to talk with them. In his classes, he has discussed jobs, internships, and master's degree opportunities that are available to the students. It is because of how inspiring Dr. George is to the students and the impact he has made on the scientific world that I'm proud to be awarding him this year's SGB Faculty Founders Day Award. Our last recipient today is a member of the staff. All students who have had encounters with this staff member would agree she has a huge heart, is very friendly, and is always willing to listen. It is because of these things that she has gained many students' trust. Evy Hunter took the role as RCD in 2015, and in the summer of 2018 was promoted to Assistant Dean of Student Development and Inclusion. Even though she has been in this role a very short time, I believe it is safe to say that she has already made a difference around campus. SGB had the privilege of having Evy come and speak to us this spring for a short training. Evy's open door policy and how personable she is makes her a great resource for students and a great friend to many on this campus. It's my pleasure and honor to award Evy Hunter with this year's SGB Staff Founders Day Award. I now would like to invite Dr. Ruslowski back to the podium.
Thank you, Mackenzie. The deans will now be presenting the Departmental Achievement Awards for each school. The Departmental Achievement Awards, which are chosen by the faculty of each academic department, are given to outstanding graduating seniors with a cumulative grade point average of 3.2 who have demonstrated effective leadership and good citizenship during their time at Delaware Valley University. The criteria for this award includes leadership among one's peers, academic success in the classroom, and outstanding engagement on and off campus. Dr. Brock Sandelin, Dean of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, could not be with us today. On his behalf, it is my pleasure to recognize the Departmental Achievement Award winners from the School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. From Agribusiness, Ryan Herstein. From Animal Science, Tara Friend. From Equine Science and Management, Jessica Timpanaro. From Food Science, Nutrition, and Management, Margaret Gadomski. From Landscape Architecture and Environmental Sciences, Catherine Seaton. From Plant Science, Jarrett Kramer. I now invite Dr. Tanya Casas, Dean of Business and Humanities, to the podium to announce the Departmental Achievement Award winners from the School of Business and Humanities.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to recognize the Departmental Achievement Awards from the School of Business and Humanities. From Business Information and Management, Robert Kedra. From Criminal Justice, Jared Foyer. From Education, Emily Cullen. She couldn't be here today. From Psychology, Michael Longacre. I now invite Dr. Jean Smolin, Dean of Life and Physical Sciences, to the podium to announce the Departmental Achievement Awards from the School of Life and Physical Sciences.
Thank you, Dr. Casas. It is now my pleasure to recognize the Departmental Achievement Awards from the School of Life and Physical Sciences. From Animal Biotechnology and Conservation, Jackson Miller. From Biology, Lauren McCarty. And from chemistry, Diana Rachi. I now invite Dr. Rosolowski back to the podium to recognize our university scholars.
Thank you, Dr. Smolin. We now recognize our university scholars who are graduating seniors and who have achieved Dean's Lists for all semesters at Del Val while maintaining an overall grade point average of 3.5 or higher. Would the university scholars in the audience please stand and be recognized? Congratulations to all of you, and please remember to pick up your certificates in the atrium before leaving today. Dr. James Morian, Dean of Graduate and Professional Studies, could not be with us today. On his behalf, it is my pleasure to present the Graduate School Scholar Award. Caring, supportive, inspirational, passionate about learning, dedicated to excellence. These are qualities that aptly describe Dr. Kathleen Plesnarski. Throughout her time in the Educational Leadership Doctoral Program, Kathleen was not only highly motivated to achieve excellence on a personal level, but she was also the cohort's consummate cheerleader in motivating each of her colleagues. Dr. Plesnarski's dissertation, titled Measures of Technical Skill Attainment and Their Predictive Value on Positive Post-Program Placement of Pennsylvania Secondary Career and Technical Students, demonstrates her deep commitment to excellence in career and technical education in Pennsylvania. Dr. Plesnarski served as Assistant Director for Upper Bucks County Technical School from 2011 until 2019, when she assumed the position of Executive Director of the Eastern Center for Arts and Technology in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. In announcing her appointment to this position, the school noted that Dr. Plesnarski was selected from a large candidate pool for her knowledge of career and technical education, work in curriculum and instruction, and her leadership qualities. Prior to her position at Upper Bucks County Technical School, Dr. Plesnarski was an instructional coach at Lehigh Career and Technical Institute, providing job support to academic and career and technical teachers to improve student achievement. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Kathleen Plesnarski. I would like to invite Dr. Gallo back to the podium to present the inaugural Champion of Diversity and Inclusion Award.
This year, we celebrate and bestow a new award that affirms and expresses our core value to respect all people. The Champion of Diversity and Inclusion Award celebrates members of the Del Val community who have demonstrated a commitment to bring diversity and inclusion into our shared experience. I thank the members of the President's Commission on Diversity for creating this award to serve as a tangible expression of our values. We are gratified by the impressive number of nominations that we received. Students, faculty, staff, and organizational units all received nominations, an indication of the breadth of good work occurring across our campus. I'm particularly pleased and inspired that the inaugural recipient of this award is a student. This individual received several nominations, each of which expressed a common theme, that of the role that this individual has played in promoting understanding of and camaraderie within the LGBT community on campus. From formal efforts such as leading GLOW in presenting educational, advocacy, and social events, to informal efforts lending a kind and willing ear to those in need, this individual has made a difference to many. In addition to this work, our recipient has been an advocate to educate others on campus about service animals and the role they play in the lives of individuals. For all of this and more, I am pleased to present the Champion of Diversity and Inclusion Award to Katrina Ike, and ask her to come forward to receive our thanks. I now would like to invite Dr. Very back to the podium to present the Founders Award.
Each year, we recognize an outstanding member of the senior class with the Founders Award. And it's given each year to a senior who has a real leadership story to tell. Someone who's been a role model to their peers, and someone who's really a great representative of the core values of a Del Val education and all that it entails. I'd like to thank the selection committee this year, Dr. Ben, Mr. Andrew Moyer, myself, and this year's Distinguished Faculty Member of the Year Award, or the sitting one, Mr. Bill Veal, for reviewing all the letters that came in, meeting with the nominees, and making some difficult decisions. And thanks to all of those of you who made nominations, we had some outstanding students brought forward for this award. They are all listed in your program, and I'm sure that you'll agree that each nominee is a wonderful student in their own right. And to the students that were nominated, I'd like to say that you're leaving Del Val better than you found it, and to us, that's leadership. You've led in classes and in laboratories, in fields of play and fields of harvest, in clubs and residence halls, in our barns and stalls, in places of worship and in the community. You've been leaders and exemplars in our workplaces on campus. You've been role models for your peers. And so on behalf of the selection committee, thank you to all of those of you who were nominated and wrote such heartfelt letters about your experience at Del Val. The future is bright, the world is in good hands, and you will go forth and be wonderful ambassadors of Del Val. So thank you to you all. Can we please just give a round of thanks for the 20 students who were nominated? Every year, this is such a difficult process, and I say that every year, and it seems to only get more difficult with the wonderful students that we have here. From 20 nominees to a smaller group of students to be finalists, and which we interviewed, was difficult. But in the end, we had 7 students that the committee interviewed. And I will just say that that experience every year is so inspiring, so moving. And I know I speak for my colleagues on the committee when I say that it's a re-energizing process. It reminds me why we're here, what we do, the work that our faculty do, and all the support as we listen to these students talk about truly the transforming experience that they've had at Del Val. There are always some laughs, there is always some emotion, but there are always wonderful and powerful stories about experiences large and sometimes quite small that are the thing that trigger a student to just move into that maturity and sense of self and discovery that we do so well here. So if I may, I'd like to share a few words about our 7 finalists. Panza is graduating with a counseling psychology major. He actively and skillfully applies his interests in the community as a very valued member of the Foundation's behavioral health team, as a shift supervisor and coordinator, but also working directly with adolescents who are on the autism spectrum. During his time at Del Val, Quasi has been a peer mentor with the Office of Student Success. He's been a member of the football team. In his first year, he's been involved with Students for Diversity and active with community outreach and engagement work in support of homeless persons in his family's home country of Ghana. Mackenzie Bishop. I don't know if there's a record for the number of most acceptances to veterinary school, but if there is, Mackenzie must surely be up there. She's an extremely strong student in biology and was accepted to 8 outstanding schools and will be attending the University of Missouri. When she wasn't being an academic rock star, she served the student body as president of SGB, where she diligently addressed student questions and concerns through advocacy and outreach to administrators. Those of us who often got those emails knew, oh, here comes an email from Mackenzie taking on an issue on behalf of students, so thank you for that. She's also been a tutor, held roles with A-Day, Alpha Lambda Delta, and has engaged in community service and participated in our inaugural Leadership Institute. Andre Butler. Andre is a business administration major with an accounting specialization. Dre's been a 4-year starter with the men's basketball team and has served as captain for the last 2 years. The demands of being a student athlete are great, but one of the things that I know I appreciate about Dre is that he really balanced and extended his experience of being a student athlete by serving as an RA for 3 years, as being a dedicated intern in the Bursar's office since 2016, and as being a welcoming presence to fans at athletic competitions as a key game sport personnel. He brings such joy and meaning to others through community service, through his home church and team. David Gambino is a sustainable agriculture systems major who will be entering our MBA 4+1 program. He's had a remarkably diverse experience at Del Val, with experience including being a lead ambassador and being such a wonderful front face of the university, to leadership with the Apiary Society, to being a student who created student research, furthering knowledge about pests and disease control in the vegetable industry, and as a saxophonist with the Del Val University Concert and Jazz Band, really enhancing and enriching our campus through the arts. Chris George. Chris is a criminal justice major who has his post-Del Val plans locked in with a position with the United States Capitol Police Force. He's been actively engaged on and off campus as a very effective 3-year RA, as a member of SGB, as participation on the baseball team, as a participant in the Leadership Institute, an active community volunteer, and perhaps most visibly as an intern with public safety, serving as a force multiplier and an engaged and experiential learner toward his chosen career in law enforcement. Katie Houston. Katie is also on her way to vet school at the University of Florida. She has served the campus as an RA, a tutor, lab assistant, an active member of several clubs and organizations. Her stewardship and leadership with drama and theater on campus has really brought a very welcome creative avenue for student engagement and for our enjoyment. Katie has a heart to make the world better, which she has done one grilled cheese at a time through her involvement with Feel Good Society. She brought such cheer to our interview and will do so in the world. Last but certainly not least, Jonathan Lance. Jonathan is graduating with a media and communications degree and has really been an exemplar in using the campus as a tremendous laboratory for developing his interests. He has done extensive and broad work improving university messaging as an intern with Marcom and a media assistant. He was a first place winner in the 2017 student writing competition and active with the Podcast Club. Most recently, he served as a peer mentor for the university's new program for first-year students. Before even arriving at Del Val, Jonathan served in the U.S. Army for 8 years, stationed in South Korea, and we thank you for your service. Thank you all for your varied contributions. I'm going to embarrass you now and please ask you to stand up and let everybody give you a hand of thanks for everything that you've done. After the selection committee met to make this difficult decision, I headed home, and while catching up with email and some other things that evening, I saw a quote that somebody had posted on LinkedIn, which said that leadership is not a position or a title, it's an action and an example. I immediately jotted that down because it's something that I long believed, but I liked the phrasing, and honestly because I thought it captured perfectly the leadership that our committee saw in the award recipient that we had selected literally just hours previously. In nomination comments and feedback from those who know our recipient well, the word leader was used a lot. Leader by example, leader that peers look up to and listen to, a leader in the classroom modeling thoughtful engagement, good questions, and a leader in the workplace. During our interview with this year's recipient of the Founders Award, we learned the story of someone who has worked so hard to overcome adversity and hardships that would have set most others back. We heard about a personal turnaround story from this individual who found their calling and passion in their academic field of study, and having found that spark, forged a personal resolve to turn things around for themselves, to succeed and to achieve for themselves, but much more broadly for family and community that has supported them. We resonated strongly with the embodiment of the core values distilled from the writings of our founder that we heard from this student. Simply through sharing their story, we heard about resilience, about the learning that comes from respecting all people and valuing difference, and about a personal commitment to pursue excellence and be a role models for others to do the same. As a committee, we were perhaps most moved by this student's closing reflection to us, in which we heard this: "I came here as a kid, I'm leaving here a man." We think Rabbi Kroskov would approve, and so on this Founders Day, with this Founders Award, and for these reasons, it's our pleasure to recognize Quasi and Panza as this year's Founders Award recipient. Come on up. Can I give you a hug? Congratulations again to all of you. You will do great things in the world. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Ben to present the Presidential Scholar Award.
Thank you, Dr. Very, and congratulations, Quasi. The Presidential Scholar Award is given to a graduating senior with the highest cumulative grade point average. This year, we have 2 recipients who are tied for this honor. Our first co-recipient transferred to Del Val and is a biology major. She shares that she truly developed as a student and individual with the help of her professors at Del Val, such as Dr. Richard Bortnick, who encouraged her to strive to be a better student and taught her to have confidence in herself, even if she was feeling unsure about her direction. Professor Kim Johnston, whose genetics and immunology classes allowed her to pursue the curiosity of the unseen. During her student research project studying the effects of antibiotics on the prevalence of antibiotic-resistant E. coli, she gained a newfound love for research and microbes, which was fostered by Dr. Cynthia Keller through her microbiology course and her mentorship. Dr. Charles Heiss, who was an inspiration for all the positive contributions he brings as a member of the Del Val faculty and to the important role he plays to the students. Last but not least, she acknowledges Dr. Catherine Ponick, who inspires her students to achieve excellence while allowing them to realize their own capabilities and potentials. Our first co-recipient recently moved to New York City and is currently working for a nonprofit that hosts summer camps across the country that teach girls ages 13 to 18 how to code computers. She eventually wants to return to school to pursue a master's degree or a PhD in immunology or microbiology. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Carrie Ann Kloss, co-recipient of the 2019 Presidential Scholar Award. Our second co-recipient hails from Rivervale, New Jersey. She is an animal science major with a pre-professional specialization. The opportunity for hands-on experiences is what attracted her to Del Val. While at Del Val, she was a peer mentor and a member of the Pre-Vet Club, Dressage Club, Alpha Lambda Delta, and Delta Tau Alpha. She too is grateful for the assistance she received from her Del Val professors. Dr. Robin Shedlaskis, her academic advisor, has always been supportive and invested in her academic career. She was also her professor for physiological reproduction, animal reproduction, livestock industry and careers, and assisted her with the data for the infrastructure and data analysis course, which she took under Dr. Shedlaskis' guidance. Professor April Lasko's Introduction to Small Animal Management course taught her about lab animals and allowed her to continue as a lab assistant for 2 semesters, which she says was a transformational experience for her. Dr. Maria Winters, her organic chemistry professor, cultivated a strong interest in the sciences and reminded students to be curious and have a little fun. Mr. Robert Brown, who teaches animal husbandry, has a way of motivating the students to step out of their comfort zones and learn something new every day. After graduation, our second co-recipient will be working towards her Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree at Tufts University Cummings School of Veterinary Medicine with the hopes of becoming a small animal veterinarian. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Katrina McIntyre, co-recipient of the 2019 Presidential Scholar Award. I now have the pleasure of announcing the John Herbst Staff Member of the Year Award. John Herbst was a Delaware Valley University employee for many years, following his retirement from a career as an engineer. Known for his love of the university, John is remembered as a kind man, a caring, gentle, and accomplished individual to whom self-direction and initiative came naturally. John worked here in the maintenance department as a volunteer on many projects, but primarily those that involved woodworking, cabinetry, and repair. When John passed away, the faculty and staff organized a tribute to the person they recognized widely as the most patient individual on campus. The walkway between the Aaron Building and the Mandel Science Building near Lake Archer was named posthumously in his honor. He was also the first individual bestowed with the Staff Member of the Year Award, which later would be renamed in his honor. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Terry Brandt, this year's recipient of the Staff Member of the Year Award. I promised that I wouldn't embarrass Terry too much, but I do have to do it a little bit. So, integrity is defined as the practice of being honest and showing a consistent and uncompromising adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. In ethics, integrity is regarded as the honesty and truthfulness or accuracy of one's actions. This definition of integrity perfectly and completely describes Terry. This is what one nominator wrote about Terry Brandt, the assistant registrar, who has worked at Del Val for the past 15 years. Terry works closely with students, ensuring that they are on track to graduate, or as one coworker described, there is not a single student who walks across the stage for commencement that Terry has not reviewed personally to ensure that they are on track to take on their dreams. One nominator described Terry as kind, caring, gentle, and an accomplished individual. The nominator went on to write that Terry is patient with her coworkers and with the students that come to see her. She is generous with her time and always has an open door. She works endless hours making sure that students at Delaware Valley University graduate. Another nominator also spoke to Terry's patience, writing that she is one of the kindest, most dedicated, and most patient people she had ever encountered. And if even a small amount of that would rub off on her nominator, the nominator would consider herself very lucky. Terry, congratulations to you. I now have the pleasure of announcing the Distinguished Faculty Member Award. The Distinguished Faculty Member Award is the most prestigious faculty award at Delaware Valley University. Members of the faculty nominate deserving colleagues for the award, in recognition of outstanding performance. The criteria are teaching excellence, availability to students through advising and co-curricular activities, and contributions to the university community, both on and off campus. Nominees are then asked to present portfolios to the selection committee, which include philosophy of teaching, professional achievements, and testimonials from students, alumni, and fellow colleagues. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Dr. Bruce Richards, this year's recipient of the Distinguished Faculty Member Award. That's fine. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dr. Richards is a faculty member in the Animal Science Department and Department co-chair. His dedication to students is evident in all facets of his academic career. He advises over 60 students per semester, serves as an advisor to the Dairy Science Club, and travels with students to various collegiate competition events off campus throughout the year. He has taught a variety of courses in his tenure on campus, including a unique and extremely relevant Spanish for Agriculture class that has been quite popular with our students. Dean Sandelin says, and I quote, "I hear nothing but glowing reviews from students about his passion for teaching," end quote. He has been a faculty mentor in undergraduate research projects and helped students with admission into prestigious graduate and veterinary schools in his time at Del Val. I would like to take this opportunity to share a portion of Dr. Richards' teaching philosophy that was submitted with his portfolio. Dr. Richards believes that teaching your students requires knowing your students, knowing their needs, and who requires extra attention. To facilitate maximum learning, he balances a variety of teaching methods. Dr. Richards notes that some students thrive on solving complex ration formulation problems, while others do well on creative projects like demonstrating the Krebs cycle. As a professor, he believes his role is to teach students where to find and analyze reliable information and how to apply it in a way that helps them to achieve their career goals. Bruce, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. I've been told that my gray hair helps me look more distinguished, so I guess this is further evidence of that. I want to thank my students. I've told them that this is my dream job, and I mean that sincerely. I love working with my students, and they're the reason why I'm here. I also want to thank my family. I'm surprised and happy to see them here. Actually, I might have heard Zeke a little bit while we were waiting, but I also want to thank Dr. Pam Reed for nominating me, and she's been my one constant mentor since I've been here at Del Val. I also want to thank God. Every day I pray that I can be a better faculty, better department chair, and a better advisor. And I think the world would be a better place if we all spent more time thinking how we could do better and less time thinking about how others could do better. So thank you, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Richards, for those inspiring remarks, and again, congratulations on your award. Will you all please rise for the alma mater, which will be performed by Katie Houston, Olivia Sickles, and Caitlin Warren, and is printed on the back of your program. At the conclusion of the recessional, you're invited to share in refreshments and fellowship in the Umasella atrium and congratulate the nominees and award winners today. And students, one last time, please remember to pick up your certificates in the atrium. Congratulations to everyone.